Welcome to Money Chat Now. I'm your host, Larry Steinhouse, and today is September 27th. It is the last week of the month, and we're looking forward to seeing how the stock market does this month. Don't forget, if you like this show, hey, actually forget if you like the show, just do it anyway. Hit the share button right now, share it on your page so everyone can see it and everyone can enjoy the show. Come on now, let's do it, right? Leave some comments if you want, and we will be able to get engaged and get involved. Of course, don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel and click the like button on the Money Chat Now page. Money Chat Now is, of course, brought to you by Investor Schooling. You can attend a complimentary class this Thursday by going to investorschooling.com. You will learn about real estate investing, you will learn about stock options trading, and you will learn it from those who do it every day. So on today's show, we'll be discussing the market update. We'll be talking about how Facebook halted its new Instagram app. We'll be talking about how the internet can be blocked. We'll be talking about energy stocks booming, the infrastructure vote, and of course, tax the rich, because that's the most important thing that we need to talk about, is to tax the rich. And we'll be talking about some of my favorite picks this week and all of the cool stuff that we'll be able to get involved in. All right, so let's get into it right now. Let's talk a little bit about the Dow. And basically, the Dow actually finished about 71 points up, which surprised me because it was up about 300 points at one point. Now, the S&P was down 12 points, and the NASDAQ was down almost 78 points. So it's kind of a mixed bag day. It was a great day for me, though. I had a lot of good plays, and we'll talk about that in a little while. But it was kind of a mixed bag day. I also have to say that was something that was interesting was the fact that the bond market, so the Treasury bonds actually rose to 1.5 at one point. And that's interesting because usually when the Treasury bonds go up, the stock market tanks. So this might be an indicator tomorrow for the stock market to tank. So be careful. It also will cause gold to go down. Gold didn't go down much today, and silver actually went up a little bit. So I'm surprised at that. So just watch for it. It's a really possibility that tomorrow will be a bad day because the bond market moved up. Now you got to watch that because if it's caused by the bond market, that means that the market is going to move not super fast this week. So, if the bond market moves up, then of course the market moves down. But because the bond market doesn't move very quickly, we might not get a quick recovery. So just watch for it, just pay attention to it and see how it plays out. That's also, that's also, something you need to watch. The other possibility is that the market had a reaction to the infrastructure bill that's going to be voted on this week. And if it passes, once again, we'll have a quick pop. If it fails, look out. All right, let's get into a little bit about Facebook. So everybody knows what Instagram is. And we talked last week about the fact that Instagram causes, mental problems in teenagers because they don't feel good about themselves. But the continuing saga of the Facebook files in the Wall Street Journal reported today that a new Instagram app for kids was halted because of these possible mental damages to children. The app in development was a version for children that would be ad-free and allow parents to monitor their children's activity. The new version was designed for children younger than 13. By the way, as you know, Instagram does not allow children under 13 allowed on their platform, but of course it acknowledges that many join anyway by changing their age in the setup. So the kids under 13 are already in it, they're just lying about their age. So members of Congress and many attorneys general from about 44 states urged Facebook to abandon plans for the children's Instagram platform, arguing that children aren't equipped to use social media and that there are better ways for them to connect with friends and family, like knocking on the door next door and saying, "Hi, brother, I live here too." Yeah, or knocking on their parents' door. Anyway, parents of kids of all ages are looking for more ways to supervise and control their kids' experiences online. Facebook executives stated the controls would give parents the ability to prove whom their teenage children can message and follow. Look, do they really think parents are going to monitor their children anyway? No, you're not monitoring your kids now. So why do you think that Facebook is going to come up with a new app that's going to make it easier to monitor your kids when you're not going to monitor anyway? It's too difficult for you to monitor them, and you also know that they're going to figure out ways to bypass the security, whatever security you have. So it's a bunch of crap. It's just really Facebook kind of come up with another way to invade people's privacy, so maybe we'll get lucky and they won't actually pass it. It amazes me that Facebook actually can get away with inviting your privacy the way they do. But they do, and that's the way it's going to be. And now they want to invade kids' privacies, and they will definitely be able to do it. All right, let's talk a little bit about the internet. So I don't know. I've posed the question several times: can the internet actually be shut down? And what would actually happen if it was shut down, and can we actually shut it down? Anyway, so one of the world's largest cryptocurrency exchanges said it would close all user accounts of the people located in mainland China by the end of the year, days after the country's central bank declared all crypto-related transactions illegal. So if you're watching the show the last couple of days, you know we talked about the fact that China has said that all cryptocurrency transactions are illegal. So if you live in China, or if you are Chinese, whatever, you are not allowed to own crypto. You're not allowed to buy it, you're not allowed to sell it, you're not allowed to mine it, you're not allowed to do anything with crypto because the government feels that you can hide money through crypto. Another big cryptocurrency exchange also said that it recently started blocking the account registrations using China cellular phone numbers. This is big, folks. If somebody has a phone number that's registered in China, they're now blocking the account registrations. It's an interesting time we live in. The internet and data is supposed to be available to all. When whole countries start blocking and limiting access to the internet, this should be worrisome. It clearly tells me that the technology exists to block the internet for any area or simply anyone. Remember, I had mentioned that one company was able to block their crypto trading site by using the phone number of the users as a reference to where the person lives. So what's going to happen if basically the people in charge could shut off the internet to a select few or an entire nation? This crackdown of crypto trading in China is clear proof that they can do this, and clear proof that you and I should be worried about it. Look, let's talk about this, right? Imagine they identify all the phone numbers on the texting list of Trump supporters and decide they are now domestic terrorists because the people on this list actually use their brain to think. They could simply shut down the phone, the internet, and the texting for this group. This clearly is coming, folks, so be prepared and be worried, because that's what communism does. This is what communism does to us. This is what communism is doing to China, and how you're going to be affected by this. All right, let's take a quick break, and we're going to talk a little bit about some other things when we come back. All right.
Investor schooling. Those guys are everywhere.
Investor schooling? Those guys are everywhere.
Investor schooling?
Those guys are everywhere.
Investor Schooling. Those guys are everywhere. Register for a free class at investorschooling.com.
Investor schooling needs a new slogan.
Investor schooling? Never heard of.
Investor schooling?
Never heard of.
Investor schooling? Never heard of them.
Any suggestions? Phil?
Investor schooling. We never heard of you either.
Investor Schooling. We never heard of you either. Register for a free class at investorschooling.com.
You never heard of investor schooling? It's time for you to hear about investor schooling. Go to investorschooling.com and you can register for a free class this Thursday. All right, so far we've been discussing the market update. We've been talking about the fact that the market closed up about 72 points, the S&P down about 12, the NASDAQ down about 78, and we also talked about the fact that the bond was, the 10-year Treasury bond was up at about 1.5%, which usually means the market's going to start to drop. So I would watch that next couple of days, watch for the market to drop. All right. We've been also talking about Facebook halting the new Instagram app for kids. And, of course, we've been talking about the fact that your internet can and will be blocked. Let's talk a little bit about energy stocks. So when Trump was president, he supported natural gas and oil production here in the U.S. When the Supreme Leader, Biden, took over, you guys know why I call him the Supreme Leader, right? Because presidents follow the Constitution and Supreme Leaders don't. So when the Supreme Leader Biden took over, he canceled the new pipeline and canceled domestic oil production. Because of this, oil companies across the world have been able to hold the United States hostage and increase oil prices. Now, of course, that's good for some of us, and let me explain. If you played some of the oil company stocks, you're benefiting from the profits that the oil companies can make on foreign oil. If you understand basic math, you realize that the oil companies are making up their product they're basically marking up their product at a certain percentage. That means when oil prices rise, and they have dramatically, the oil companies make more profit dollars because they're operating the same profit margin. So now prices go up, and if prices go up, they make more money. Some of the companies that have been benefiting from this are Exxon, Occidental Petroleum, Marathon Oil, and Halliburton. It seems to me that a lot of Democrats must be holding positions in these companies and are continuing to profit from the decision to halt oil production domestically. The good news for now is that in this economy, it's so good that you and I will be able to afford the $7 a gallon gas price coming this winter. Watch it. It's coming. You'll see. All right, let's talk a little bit about the infrastructure vote. Pelosi promises to vote on Biden's spending plans this Thursday, despite Democrat rifts. The coming days will be the most consequential of Biden's rule as Supreme Leader so far. They will determine whether the congressional Democrats can make progress not only toward a refresh of U.S. transportation and what they claim is the biggest expansion of the Social Security net Social safety net in decades, but also whether the U.S. can avoid a government shutdown and disastrous default on its debt. The House Budget Committee voted on Sunday to pass the bill and send it to the House floor. Moderate and progressive Democrats have clashed over the size and scope of the package. Now, Pelosi is saying it seems self-evident the bill's price tag will drop. That's interesting that they actually might be thinking that we might need to be able to save some money. So that's interesting. Anyway, here we go. All right, let's talk about taxing the rich. The Supreme Leader, Joe Biden, and House Democrats have unveiled plans to raise taxes on households with more than $400,000 of annual income. So this bothered me. I was like, $400,000 worth of annual income. Why $400,000? Why not $350,000? Why not $500,000? Why not $250,000? Well, just so you know, at this time in our country, people making over $400,000 a year are only about 2% of the households. But the reasons for choosing the $400,000 as a line separating the rich from lower and middle class earners aren't entirely clear. Basically, the number doesn't mean anything. It's an arbitrary threshold, according to Leonard Berman, who co-founded the Tax Policy Center. There's no analytical justification for it. So what is it? Here's my thought. It's simply a number that most Americans make and that politicians feel they can anger everyone making less than that. The rich are the reason you're paying too much taxes. The rich are the reason you can't afford your house, or you can't afford your taxes, or of course your $7 a gallon gas. Or maybe it's because the average politician makes less than $400,000, but more than $300,000. I guess they don't want to bite the hands that feed them. Either way, the rich have methods to avoid taxes. I should know. I use them and I teach them. Did I tell you that I have a new book coming out? Yep, it's called Money Hacks. And in this book, I discuss many of the techniques. So if you don't know about my new book, it's called Money Hacks. It's coming out soon. I will teach you how to save money in taxes if you do this. Look for it in stores in the beginning of the new year. All right, so let's go a little bit into crypto because I like crypto. You guys know how much I like crypto. So crypto is basically creeping down a little bit. It's still creeping down a little bit. Ethereum is down, still below 3,000. Bitcoin is down to 42,000. Of course, my favorite doggy coin is down to 20. And I don't even remember the Shiba or whatever the heck it is. I don't even know that I bought the other day for $1,000. I put $1,000 into it. It's at 7/millionth of a percent of a penny. And I figured out if it goes to 1 penny, I make $1.3 million on my $1,000. So I'm really excited about that too. And I can't wait to let you guys know how that plays out. All right, let's take a quick break and we'll talk about some of the stocks that I'll be playing.
Okay, so you've thought about investing in real estate, houses, apartment buildings, properties, but don't really know where to start. Well, what if you could very easily learn how to gain strategies to use other people's money to buy and sell houses in the Philadelphia area? If you could learn and network with successful area real estate investors and how to produce monthly income on rental properties without headaches, that place is Investor Schooling. With Investor Schooling, you'll learn from two Philadelphia area rockstar real estate investors, Phil Falcone and Larry Steinhouse, about how to buy and sell properties the easy way and teach you basic and advanced techniques to help you make money in real estate. You can attend Investor Schooling in person or online visual classes 8 times a month. You can and will learn how to make money in real estate. Call for free information and get a complimentary pass to one of these classes. But don't delay, as these complimentary passes are limited. Call the number on your screen now or visit investorschooling.com. investorschooling.com.
Discussing the market. We've been discussing the fact that the market actually closed up today. The Dow actually closed up today about 72 points. The S&P closed down about 12 points, and the NASDAQ closed down about 78 points. And I also saw the Treasury, and we talked about this too. The Treasury bond was selling for 1.5 at 1.5. It was at 1.5%. I got a feeling that's not going to be good for the market over the next couple of days. We've been talking about the fact that Facebook halted its new Instagram app. We talked about the fact that the internet can be blocked. We talked about how energy stocks are booming because, you know, the Supreme Leader has stopped all domestic oil production, not all, but most. We talked about taxing the rich, and, you know, they can't tax me because I know how to hide my money, and I'm going to teach you how to do that too if you ever want to come by Investor Schooling. I've also been telling you guys to buy AAL and CCL, and today CCL popped. AAL is also moving nicely, and I took the profit on both. So today I took some money. I thought it was great. I actually took most of my shares off the table today because I noticed that CCL basically popped because they got a good article out there that said that they're up to about 50% capacity now of their ships moving out, which is kind of neat. AAL also is moving up nicely, and I'm going to tell you that these still have room. Now, I wouldn't get into them now. I might want to see them drop 2 or 3 points before I got back into them, but they still have room because they're still going to move, and eventually the Supreme Leader is going to drop the mask mandate on travel, and we'll be able to enjoy ourselves. I mean, right now it's like, you know, let's welcome to Disney World. If you don't follow the rules, you'll be thrown away. You know, so that's basically how it works now, and hopefully that'll change eventually. All right, I also noticed that Facebook moved down earlier today, and then it just didn't stay down. It actually finished up about, I don't know, maybe about 50 cents, but it was up about 2 points. If I can see this below 350 again, it's a great play into earnings. As I mentioned before, the energy stocks are rocking the house. Watch for the infrastructure play over the next few days, and then watch for them to drop on Friday if the bill gets passed. So basically, if you're going to be playing some infrastructure stocks, you like maybe Caterpillar, maybe 3M, or any other stocks like that. Honestly, even the energy stocks, you got to watch it a little bit. If the bill gets passed or not passed on Friday, watch it. The market will probably have a little bit of a movement, up or down, but most likely down. All right, I want to thank you again for watching Money Chat Now. Hit that share button, hit that like button. Make sure that you subscribe to the Money Chat Now page on Facebook. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel. And of course, from time to time, I own some of the assets and options discussed in this show. The opinions discussed in this show are solely mine, and no one has asked me to discuss them. Thank you again for watching Money Chat Now. We will see you tomorrow at 4:03.